Greetings and salutations. I am so far laid back. Let's sit up straighter. There we go. That's a bit better. That's very in my face. Alright, greetings and salutations. Welcome to my stream. I am Karen Rustmore, and I am currently playing through playing through Pathfinder Kingmaker. Hi Josh, how's it going? I'm just remembering what I'm playing. There we go. Slightly more central. This is session 59. Wonder if I should actually have a celebration where, you know, when I get to, if I get to session 100. I don't know what the celebration will be. It'd be more Pathfinder. Let me just do the quick math. Minus 10. So yeah. This is hours 364 to 367 of playing this game. And as per usual, I cannot remember where I'm up to. I think I'm just exploring around at the moment. That was it. I was exploring around. I went into a place where it's like, this is actually kind of rough, but it was in an area where it's like, this should not be difficult. It wasn't excessively difficult, but it was a little rough. But let's get back to the game. I remembered to switch scenes this time. How you doing, Josh? Yeah, I think at the moment I'm just waiting for something to happen. So it's a mix of going around, exploring places, and also, you know, I'm trying to build up my kingdom stats. I just made it back to town. Yeah, I'm pretty good. I've been doing some exercise recently and trying to look after myself. Mainly because I went around the doctors for a blood test, unrelated. And then found out that my weight is getting up there. You know, they said it's probably nothing to be excessively concerned about. Everybody's probably put on weight in the current national lockdown we've got over here. But since I realised that I'm putting on the weight, I have decided to start exercising a little bit. When I say exercising, it basically means getting up and going for a walk. It's not high level exercise or anything particularly strenuous, but it's still enough, and it's still bleeding aching. Because, you know, pretty much for the last year I've done nothing. I've still got the music playing in the background. That's why it sounds a little bit weird. So that was very upbeat for the map. Yeah, it was upbeat for the map. There's nothing I can do about the runaways until Lindsay or Octavia, and both are busy for a while. That's to upgrade my city to my capital to a city. I think the only realistic thing that I need to be doing is going out and exploring some more. Because there's nothing particularly in the jungle. In the journal. I think I saw jungle somewhere. Been doing that a lot today. Just randomly talking to people and then accidentally seeing a word in front of me, and it's like, yes, must use that word somewhere in the conversation, and it's like, no, that's not applicable. The end times are nigh. Harem. Right, so I think I've cleared out, because yes, it was mainly around here. So we've cleared out that side. Got the wolf's lair down over here. We got the Lonely Mill up over that way. And then it's pretty much up and around to this kind of area. And then work my way down, I think. Give or take stuff calling me back to the capital. Which undoubtedly will happen a few times. Like I've just got something in. Events. The slum dwellers. Everybody's busy. In any region, there are beggars, vagabonds and paupers that roam the streets and refuse work. But the problem here has grown out of control. They beg for money, commit crimes and spread disease and filth. The paupers seem to multiply by the day and threaten our honest citizens. They fill the slums and towns and turn the towns into grimy underworlds. This problem must be addressed before the prosperous city turns into a shanty town. Tristan, Jod and Creston. Jod will probably be a while, but Kristen will be there shortly. The Wolf's Lair. Or Wolf's Lair, sorry. Right. The obvious route is up, so I'll go down. And find wolves.
This should do it.
Probably nothing spectacular to wonder about.
Risk.
Let us strike as one.
Nice.
Serves you right.
This will hurt.
And then it exploded. Because they always explode when I hit them. Right, what do we have here? Useful little selection of things. And one wolf that we can actually skin. It's the edge of the map.
You deserved it.
Probably the first thing Lindsay's killed in a while. Can you charge at either one of them? No, you
Do
can't.
not falter. Onwards.
Found some. I literally just come from that way. Road.
Consider me provoked.
Hopefully the rest of them should be in front of me now. Seems we got them 3 at every entry point. No, try and kill that one off. There we go. 11 hit points. That's all it took. Oh, for great cleave. Slowly building up channel points. 20. I was wondering at some point if they could perhaps be spent on designing, inspiring, and mercenary, assuming that you're still in your budget at this level. That you can maybe use for a session. That's an interesting thought.
Let's try this way.
I may very well add that one. Why did I only move you a little bit? I'm distracted by your good idea. About the only thing that I'd be a little bit concerned about is how long it takes to make. Because, you know, at the start of a game, it'd be sort of like a lot simpler because it's like, oh, you got 3 or 4 levels to choose from. Well, we got the alpha wolves now.
This is where I step in.
This should do it.
I'll fight if I have to.
You hire mercenaries at the tavern, don't you?
Stay behind me. Let us strike as one.
Serves you right.
A calculated risk.
She actually got close enough. Didn't think she would.
Bring it.
Anybody else gonna pop out? All right. Wolf Victims Book. There are many goblin tribes in Avestan. These militant creatures do not construct cities. Instead, they build their settlements in forests, ancient ruins, or in caves. Goblins do not farm. They collect waste, rob, and loot. In other words, they parasite on more developed civilizations who avoid any diplomatic relations with these dangerous pests. Goblins experience pathological fears of horses and dogs. Despite this, they do not disdain the company of wolves, which they use as mounts. In battle, goblin riders are terrifying. They are a striking force that breaks into the enemy formation and carries horror and death to all who happen to be caught in the way. Goblins are often accompanied by wargs. These creatures are even larger than ordinary wolves and have even more ferocious tempers. Although wargs allow goblins to ride on their backs, it's highly questionable who is the master and who is the pet among the two. Another beast, which should be known to the curious explorer of the wolves and goblin tribes, is a Bagast. Scientists have considered these monstrous creatures related to goblins, but in appearance they are very similar to wolves. Bagasts are very dangerous, able to shapeshift to instill a feeling of boundless despair in their victims, and tear them apart while they are in a helpless state. For the goblins, Bagasts are sacred creatures. They believe these monsters once initiated the goblin race. Ah, a melted shard of the ring. I think that covers just about everything. Yep. Well, I can't leave where I came in, apparently. So yeah, I'll consider the whole channel points to build a mercenary for the session. I think to a certain degree, it's like I'm gonna have to say, you know, if you choose the class, you choose what you can, but at the same token, if you're, you know, for the sake of speed of leveling up, if the reply isn't forthcoming as quickly as possible, then it might have to be so I'll have to make some educated choices. For example, you know, if you've said that you want a fighter who wields a bastard sword, then when it comes up weapon focus, weapon safe refuge. I forgot to do that. Sorry, I'll just be right back a moment to the game. I forgot to tweet about my session. And it's important that I maintain that I do all of them. Come on. There we go. Tweeted. Okay, great stuff. Now back to the game. I only mentioned that because I got a tweet. Safe refuge for Valerie. Runaways aren't likely. Safe refuge is just an opportunity, so not too big of a deal if Valerie doesn't get around to it, but she's only got 7 days. And that's not done anything yet. Okay. Only Octavia wants to rest. Oh. While passing the windmill, we saw a curious thing. Goblins were squatting in the shadow of the building, doing what goblins do best, stuffing their faces. They had gutted sacks of flour and were spreading the wealth. Some fried pancakes on an open fire. Others threw pieces of dough into a bubbling pot, making some kind of dumplings. Yet others just rolled around in the white powder, shoving clumps down their throats. All of them, without exception, were guzzling ale from kegs nearby, spilling it over each other and bellowing songs. When they spotted us, the merry goblins, possibly due to the ale, stood to their ground. Instead of fleeing, they started to whistle and wave, inviting us to join in their feast. In response, the Baron frowned, bared weapons, and charged into battle. Shrieking, the goblins scattered and ran, kicking up clouds of flour. When the cloud settles, of the goblins there was no sign. Nothing left of interest in the location. It's a bit of a shame that it kind of didn't give me, you know, more for that. It's just one of them where it's like, oh, everybody's fatigued, and rest.
Armor must be sturdy and heavy. The heavier, the better. And if there's a good shield to add to the armor, then you feel like a whole fortress, not just a fighter.
I would make a suggestion like mustachioed Azamar, the Sylvan Sorcerer. How am I supposed to get to Talon Peak? Can I guess this way? I can avoid them. I can evade them. Yay! Gonna guess down this way. And around across the river and back up.
I'm hungry. When we stop?
Took so long that everybody's knackered.
Octavia, why do you always primp your hair, huh? Why the hell you need to? Where are you going to charm here? Trolls or something?
Everyone has their little weaknesses. I like to look pretty. I didn't get a chance to do it much in the slave camp.
If you pick the chaotic choice, you had to make up a song filling in the last lines of the verses. Muse touched, and leave most choices up to you. Oh, Muse touched. There we go. If you pick the chaotic choice, you had to make up a song filling in the last lines of the verses. But yeah, certainly a possibility. I think I would probably benchmark it around 25,000 points, just to... Well, no, you've been here quite a bit and you're only up to 21,000. Getting to 25 might take a time. And I doubt there's many people who's been around as much as you have. So, because that's the thing, it's a cross between keeping it achievable, but also, you know, don't want it. You know, I've got a friend who streams, and they'll dab, you know, the whole monkey business for 500 channel points. So whenever they stream and I'm watching, I'm just having them dab every, so like half an hour or so. Which isn't bad for the amount of effort they've got to put into it, but at the same token, you know, if I put it as something as low as 500, then, you know, just about every session I'd end up with a party of mercenaries and myself. Which isn't quite what I want to happen. Oh, it's a swarm.
Any last wishes?
There's still like feels like there's a fair amount of the game left to build up points. Yeah, it's just one of them where it's like I could like put it at the 25,000 mark, but then the chances of anybody else being able to achieve that would be fairly low. Petrified egg. Diamond dust. And a door. Oh, hello. I was actually expecting to go into a cave. Gold powder, TZI ink, special hops, and coinage. More spiders. Valerie, go for that one. Tristan, shoot the swarm. Bad.
Let's try this way.
We can stab it. Octavia finished. Another door? Not what I was expecting to find at the top of Talon Peak. Thud. Click. Thud. Click.
I see something.
Thud. Duck. The fortress is younger than the Cyclops is, but it's still old enough to be impossible to discover who it built it and why. The one that usually goes click went thud. I have a feeling there's a chamber there. That wall looks weird. Right. Thud, thud, click. Thud, click, thud. Thing is, you never know if you're missing one.
I believe I found something.
Click. So put somebody there, put somebody there, put somebody there, and somebody there. Click. Thud. 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 Click. Click. Thud. Click. No. Thud. Click. 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 We got the Skull Crusher. A grim sense of totality surrounds this heavy mace. Heavy blow. Whenever you score a critical hit with this weapon, your opponent becomes stunned for 1d4 rounds. A successful fortitude saving throw reduces this to staggered for 1 round. These effects do not stack. Additional hits instead add to the duration. I mean, okay. It's not a bad thing to find out in the middle of nowhere. And I suppose if your focus was in heavy maces, then it'd be a nice... Ah. Heavily armed men seated around a fire, they chat casually and plaster around a flask, obviously not expecting ambush or eavesdropping in a place like this. Damned king and his damned guards. Since that arse down the stag lord, honest people got nowhere to get themselves some coin. Just look where we ended up. Middle of nowhere. Hide and eavesdrop in the conversation. Damn right. More traders on the roads, and what good for it? Try and pluck them even a bit, and you're locked up in no time. Cut your whining. We got to adapt if we want to survive. This birdie'll bring us more gold than any trader, and then we can sell ourselves as mercenaries. I'll go treasure hunting. We'll get by. Bandits, whispers Valerie, putting her hand on her scarab. Continue eavesdropping. With you in charge, we'll end up with our necks broke. Care to explain what demon possessed you to make us climb up this cliff, where there's a neat, safe passage on the other side? Why did we bother getting all these ropes and hooks? Have you seen that path? Spiders everywhere, just swarming with spiders, crawling all around. Damn fat, furry beasts. I hate spiders. Really? You're afraid of spiders? I'm not afraid of nothing. It's just these damn spiders rather fly at a troll than a mess of those ugly beasts. Watch out, there's a spider in your hair. Oh, ha ha, I'm just exploding with laughter. Maybe you should become a bard, huh? Better yet, head straight for the capital. Ask the king to hire you as the court's jester. Just don't go through the front door. There might be spiders inside. Better take a rope and scale the back wall. Octavia giggles. Someone's here. Harm yourselves, lads. Well, we lost the element of surprise. Thanks, Octavia. But on the plus side, they came to us. Yes, it's a king you've been complaining about.
Me. Consider me provoked.
You can't charge, can you? No.
This is where I step in.
Thing is, it's one of them things about this game is that I have absolutely no idea how much there is left to it. I think there's at least a good couple of chapters. And depending on how the chapters go,
This should do it.
it could be quite a while.
A calculated risk.
Out of all of the stood here, you try to strike the one with the shield and the heavy armor. I mean, your effort is commendable, but Ooh, monster casserole. Cheese, eggs, and wyvern meat. Hey, we've finally found a recipe for the wyvern meat.
All according to plan.
This fortress is younger than the Cyclops is, but still older enough to be impossible to discover who built it and why. I don't think there's much around here. Might as well check. Hooks, ropes, hammers, everything one would need to scale a mountain. Looks like their friend didn't make it. As soon as you get close to the nest, a huge shadow moves across the sky. With a shrill shriek, a gigantic bird swoops down on you, flapping her wings, making a venerable hurricane as she moves to protect her nest with her last breath.
This is for you.
Well, I'm ready. There's something big. Go kill it. Well, I might be dead. Again. No, I want you to move away from it. As much as possible without getting out of range.
I die free.
Oh, you're not dead. We are not having a good combat with this thing, though. It's got a lot of hit points. 428. Gargantuan Animal 24. Well, he'll die like everything else we find. Sing us the song. Gives us a chance to hit it. Ta-da! Amulet of natural armor +1 and 3 pieces of fell. Gold coins, gold rings, a rock egg, which is a cooking ingredient apparently. You hear the sound of metal scraping nearby. Ah.
In due time.
An interesting place to put a waypoint, but at the same token appreciated, because I'd rather not have to scale all the way back down the mountain. curious little encounter that was. I wonder if this is one of the beasts you had access to in that portal. I wonder if this is one of the beasts you had to access in the portal in Hattum. Right, I wonder if this is one of the beasts you had to kill to access the portal. What's a Hattum though? You might be right, but at the same token, I'm not sure what you mean by all that. It's one of the problems with having a lousy memory. So like... I wonder if this is one of the beasts you had to kill. To access the portal in that tomb? Still, I'm trying to figure out which portal you mean. And which tomb. They've run out of things to say to each other. Failed to evade whatever this is.
Running won't help you.
And it's goblins. Out of all the things to bleeding well find us, why did it have to be goblins? Blood and sand. One goblin down.
I'll fight if I have to.
Stupid goblin got himself killed.
Do not falter!
Tristan gonna get the killing blows. Oh wow, he did. I'm just going to turn around and leave this way. I'd rather not run the risk of finding more of them up the way. Not even carrying anything of worth. That's something I don't think I've checked out in a while. The encyclopedia in the bestiary. Surprised that they've not done what they usually do in games like this, where it's like there'd be a stat block for creatures that you eventually kill off so that you can get a better detailed analysis of them outside of combat. There was a Cyclops tomb before the 3 Vortici tombs. You cleared to lead that room with a portal that you can go through. It had, I think, 6 nodes that needed to be lit up by killing monsters before it would open. Can't remember if there was other requirements as well. It's not something that I have done. I mean, it's fair enough. I don't recall that tomb whatsoever. Not gonna lie. Court intrigue. One of the treasurers of the neighbouring countries has entered the borders of the kingdom on the way to a business trip. The warden sent the council's letter to the queen of the neighbouring county. The traitor was arrested and will be tried in court. Ah. That's what we did with it. Your capital is now a busy city. Regions. You've made significant progress in the restoration of Bronzefield Shield Fortress, and it is quickly becoming the centre of the whole region. A prerequisite for the restoration of the Road of Shields project. No special effect. Enigmatic tales. In the region of Silvertop is home to many mysteries. Even the Fae have their own tales of this place. You could turn it into a source of inspiration for mages and priests. Effect. Each cathedral in the kingdom provides +3 divine. Each magical academy in the kingdom provides +3 arcane. Although Silverstep fishermen prefer to see fish jumping into the boat by itself, you can still teach them proper techniques to fish farming. Effect. Any village buildings in this or any adjacent region grant either a community or loyalty bonus. Now grants a minimum +1 bonus for both. It's a magical place. The Stolen Lands are a magical place and are a place of magic and mystery. And your capital and environs are its true heart. Turn the region into a centre for arcane studies and a pilgrimage destination. Effect. +5 bonus to resolve any situation with the Magister or the High Priest in this region. Also provide a +5 competence bonus to knowledge arcana and knowledge and lore religion everywhere in the entire kingdom. Oleg's Leviton's example could encourage others to pursue a merchant's life in the region. With your help, the outskirts could become the center of trade between merchants and local hunters. No special effect. So why would I do it then? A hunt is a form of entertainment that nobles consider essential. Estril's holy place. With the Temple of Elk at its heart, and in the North Nile marches becomes a true home for Estril's followers. +2 sacred bonus to attack and damage against animals and magical beasts while within the kingdom. Also provides a +5 bonus to law nature while within the kingdom. Oh, this is the first one which are like, oh, that genuinely could be useful. Horses from the Canelands are valued for their strength, speed, and sure-footedness. Support its horse breeders, and you'll have the finest mounts in the region for yourselves and your companions. +20% to overland movement speed while within the kingdom. Another worldly power once nested under the dome of an abandoned keep. Study it to provide your arcane specialist with new knowledge and experience. +2 arcane from academies of magic and +1 arcane from mage towers everywhere in the kingdom. So that's 7 more, well, however many more things that is to do. Slum dwellers, Creston, go deal with it. Trying to get my stability back up a little bit. Valerie, go do. That's not a good chance. I mean, I don't think my community is bad at all, so I'm just going to risk it. And it's only an opportunity. It's not a problem. When picking an advisor for a task, you can mouse over their bonuses towards the success breakdown in the number for better understanding. Yeah, I'm guessing that the kingdom stat should be... So if we go to Jubileost... See, he's not got a kingdom stat, but he has got a stat rank. Which I'm guessing is this. So double 5 will be 10. And if we go back to this guy, rank is 3. And he is stability, which is 3. So yeah, it's double the rank. Community 4, community 8, plus the leader bonus. So yeah, does a ranger get strong after level 5? I feel like I'm the weakest in the party. I don't really know much about other classes. There are rangers that you may meet within the game who are pretty powerful in certain places. One of the things I do find a little bit is the classes tend to be either very generalist and they're good all around, or they tend to be very focused. You know, for example, you know, I can do a hell of a lot of damage as long as I can get flanking. And the only way that I can get flanking is if there's other melee involved. And also, my Blade Master is better with a very specific set of weapons. If you get the feeling that you're the weakest in the party, it's best to look at the statistics of it and sort of like work out why you're the weakest. Because one of the things is, it's all like Valor isn't too bad I find, but I've not focused on her attack and damage. You know, Amory is plus 25. Valerie's only a plus 21. I'm a plus 14. But I do get the flanking bonus, and I've got the flanking, and I've got the feat that gives me a plus 4 rather than a plus 2, taking it up to an 18. My other advantage is the fact that I get 4 attacks per round, as well as when I do actually manage to hit, it's never for a trivial amount of damage. I'm not 100% sure on builds of Ranger. Like I said, there's one in the game, but I've never really played with him, but I did find him especially useful for the job at hand. Don't really want to throw too many spoilers out there as to who they are and why they were really useful. The thing is, one of the other facets to consider is how long have you invested in the game so far? And do you feel that it's working for you? I have probably Rangers Babgrowth, I can't quite remember. I think they might be a full Bab. Because I do remember the Ranger that I had a fairly decent number of attacks. But yeah, this is probably my 5th or 6th character before actually committing and being sort of like happy with them to play it out to its fullest extent. I did pretty much choose them on a whim, but it's really working out for me. Yeah, that's the other thing about the Ranger is you will have a pet. And so your strength isn't just yours, it's the combination of yours and the pets. I forgot Rangers get pets in this. Oh look, Restless Spectres.
You right.
Sing us a song, Lindsay. These guys are resisting a lot of damage. I have a terrible feeling that these are going to level drain. Dang, that didn't even hurt. There we go. That's one down. Do these classes undead? They do. It's a reasonable amount of damage. Yep, they level drained. Woo! Ow. Ow. Death Ward.
You forced my hand.
Of course, now we're going after somebody else. There we go. There's another one down.
Look at me, Gorham!
Did I get sneak attack on it? I missed. Not yet damaged enough to justify burning too many spells on it. Oof.
Justice!
Come on, take this last one out. You've got a bunch of negative levels. You've got a bunch of negative levels. Greater restoration. Restoration restores. Spells temporary negative levels. Please do them all. Yes. Kind of glad I never got around to getting rid of them off of Tristan. Let's put best foot forward. I'm going to protection 3 and Jester's Vest. Whenever the wearer of this colourful +1 padded armour casts hideous laughter, the DC is increased by 1 and 2. Ooh, excuse me. But yeah, I can't really remember a lot of the characters that I tried before settling on this Blade Master. The Blade Master was more of a spur of the moment thing. It was like, I want to play a rogue. And then it was like, ooh, there's a variant called Blade Master. Read into the perks of it, and it's like, nice. The Blade Master gets
That is not far.
a usual rogue gets a D6 for their sneak attack. The Blade Master gets a D8 for their sneak attack as long as it belongs to a certain category of basically small blades, such as the Kree daggers, punch daggers. I think there's a couple of others in there, but I can't remember them off the top of my head. I've been to the City of Hollows, haven't I? Yes, I have. You've spotted peaceful travellers. This'll be the skeleton merchant. Probably. Yes. Show me your wares. I wonder what would happen if I killed this guy. Where is all this weight coming from? How heavy is that rock egg? No. I mean, I don't think it's all this stuff that I'm carrying. I'm gonna sell it anyway, but... And +3 might be useful. But yeah, apparently I'm carrying around nearly 600 pounds in weight. And not much relatively to show for it. I mean, I do have 6.5 pounds of mushrooms. £2 of potatoes. £9 of rice. I've got £5 of scrolls of haste. £14 of scrolls of cure light wounds. I think I know where the weight's coming from. £38 of acid flask. I think at some point I really need to go through all of this stuff and figure out what I'm actually going to keep. I think to a certain degree it's one of them where it's I feel if I played this at a higher level of difficulty, then I would be relying on so much more of these things than I am at the moment, because, you know, I can't remember the last time that I used scrolls and potions. I remember going through a lot of potions when it came to there was a place, the Season of the Bloom, needing a lot of spells and potions. Mainly it's the boss fights where it's like you get stuck in a long ass dungeon, not much a chance to rest. And so, you know, it was like just popping potions left, right, and center. And the same goes for the scrolls. It was like it was cheaper to buy scrolls than it was potions, I feel. Yeah, potion of cure light wounds is 12 gold. I think you pay a lot more from when you're purchasing them, but they sell for 12 gold. You have a scroll, exactly the same, but you need a priest to cast it, or somebody who can cast it. I mean, Lindsay, Tristan, Harim, and Jubiliost. But it's half the price. But I feel if I just got rid of all of these, I'd actually be able to shave off a lot of weight. Yeah. £42 of alchemist fire. There's £70. Oh well, I'll figure that out later. I think I might have to figure it out at some point. Because at some point I'm just going to become overburdened. And I'd rather try to avoid that because it delays how quickly you move around the map. I have an itch. There we go. Right, over this way, down this way. The Blood Furrows. Sounds like a delightful place. A small bag of holding doesn't really factor in too much. Yeah, an additional £100. That pressed me up to 1,600. But yeah, mercenary team, 3 dex-based spell casters, level 11, 3 pets, and max weight is 5,000. Wow. This place does look delightful. It's even a dead horse. It looks like this horse fell while trying to climb the rock. It must have been terrified to attempt such a thing. Barbarian seems to have died from massive blood loss. Horrible wounds cover his body, though his hand is still clutching a knife. And a great club called Dunance. Physical flow, which is strength and dex. The horse's legs are covered with deep wounds. They seem to be bite marks, but the animal died by human hands. Its throat has been slit. Neatly slit.
To victory!
A bullet. Bullet. Land shark. Ow. Right, Tristan, I need you to move away and I need you to heal. Because I'm in a lot of pain. Rage. Murder that thing. Okay, not too bad.
You deserved it.
Nope. Terrible life choices. Now is not the time to be missing.
What a miserable last chapter.
Oh my word, could people just start rolling double digit dice? Stay down. Oh, come on. It's got to be something else I can throw at it. Yeah, have a magic missile. What?
You can't stop me.
Calm down. Not dead yet.
Onwards!
I need to catch my breath.
Bullet, bone plates, meat. To be clear, the team does also have 3 strength-based characters. The thing is, strength 20, 20. Why are you? Oh, you're fatigued. 22. 13 doesn't help. 10, 10. Also fatigued, so it will be 12 and 11. But even so, it's only £400. So even if you had 20 across 6 people, that would only be £240. Maybe a little more. Let's wait until that runs out. What's the rock say? Inscription on the stone is made with blood. The text says, running is no help. The grass betrays. Stay with me. Better die than become food for.
As it should be.
There we go. Looking a bit better. There's a hole deep in the ground, made recently. At the bottom you see a pile of bloody rags that look like the remains of some barbarian's clothes.
What you want?
Yeah, the thing is though, even still, at 22 strength, that's £520. So even if you had 6 characters at 520, that'd only be 3,000 carry weight. Add in the bags of holding that I've got, another 300. 3,300? 3,420. Yeah. And that's the whole party at 22. Might be able to get it up slightly higher. With different belts. But yeah, I think the pets really are tipping it in your favour. Deep furrows marred the grass in the area as if a huge plough had been put to work here. The thing is, I think, if I'm not mistaken, and I could be mistaken, but I know that at least in D&D 5th edition, anything that is an animal, find the villains hunting nature's wrath. Whatever is happening, whatever it is that's threatening the miners, we must find it as quickly as we can. The best person for the task is the Chancellor or the Curator. The former will use bribery, the latter rumour and flattery. The search for the villains has begun. I'm guessing I need to go back to Kingdom View? Yeah, Nature's Wrath. I don't actually have a choice. Maybe Jublios when he's 3 in 3 days. But yeah, sorry, as I was saying in D&D, if it's 4 legs, or if a creature slash person.
Have you ever tried to count how many enemies you've killed?
A lot. There aren't even such high numbers. If someone wanted to count that high, they'd have to start making up new numbers a long time ago.
Don't think she quite realizes how big numbers can get. Or she really does think she's killed that many people. But yeah, and I can't remember, I think in D&D it's something like you double the number, or it might even be quadruple it to say that they're a pack animal. Yeah, in D&D, if you get a mule, it's a beast of burden. The mule is considered a large animal for the purposes of determining its carrying capacity. And somewhere in all of this, it tells you carrying capacity. See if it's listed in the index as carrying capacity. Carrying. See under lifting and carrying. Bum. 176. And 78. Yeah, so in D&D at least, larger creatures can bear more weight, whereas tiny creatures carry less. For each size category above medium, double the creature's carrying capacity and the amount it can push, drag, or lift. For creatures smaller, halve these weights. So yeah, if it's a pet with a fairly high strength rating, and Pathfinder has a similar rule where it's like they are beasts of burden and potentially large creatures already, then it might factor it in. I mean, it's got to be something like that for it to be about 5,000, I reckon. The ruins of the tower loom over the surrounding plains like a tombstone so old that time has worn away the epithet, as well as the language it was written in. Each crumbling step of the giant stairway was as tall as a grown man's chest, and a huge portal where the door once stood was wide enough for our entire party to walk abreast through. We decided to climb the tower. It was hard to imagine how tall the building must have been before crumbling under its own weight. It's possible that even the owners would have towered above us, had they still been around. Even so, by using the cracks and pits in the stone wall, the experienced climbers would likely be able to scale the tower. Valerie spat in her hands and swiftly climbed up one of the high ledges, what remained of the second floor. There the walls had deteriorated even further. They were covered with engravings, barely visible symbols of some ancient language. After catching her breath, she decided to climb further. Climbing higher was no easy task. Valerie's fingers slipped on wet moss and the rocks crumbled beneath her feet. Perched atop a shelf on the opposite wall, a large black raven watched Valerie's ascent intently. Clinging to the signs that were carved into the wall, Valerie slowly began to move upwards. At last she reached the top, an uneven stub that was all that was left of the spire that once must have reached to the lower clouds. Alas, there was no treasure to be found, unless you are willing to count the magnificent view of the surrounding area. Finding out she had seen enough, Valerie carefully descended. After that, we decided to turn away and leave. We walked away, leaving the stone colossus to its eternal slumber. Curious. Try to avoid. You failed to sneak past. More goblins. I know, it's not goblins this time. Wyverns.
Consider me provoked.
Come on, make it explode. It didn't explode. Did die though. I wonder how I'm supposed to get there. Know that I've got some places along there to get to, but I want to check out the kingdom events. Last Wall's Cavalry. A light-fingered administrator in Last Wall is prepared to sell a herd of excellent war horses, but not through official channels. Can the minister make such a deal? I still don't have one of espionage. What's annoying is that's considered a problem. Why is that a problem? Excuse me. Hey, Creefer. How's it going? Thank you for the raid. Just wandering around. You killed Diablo. It's one of them things that's like with the original Diablo, I never actually got round to completing it.
May we have a moment of respite?
So nicely done. Collapsed passage. Nice, nice. You were playing the wizard build, weren't you? Or sorcerer. Was there only the 3 classes in Diablo? There was in the original, I remember.
Resting would be nice, don't you think?
Yes, but so would exploring whatever this is.
In due time.
Ah, Hellfire added the monk. And then apparently you could unlock the barbarian and the bard through the files. Sounds like maybe they weren't complete then. A soft click comes from within the mechanism. It does nothing apparently. Itchy eyeball. Oh, hello.
This is for you!
delay until after everything else. They had to put ranged ones in there. Delay until after everything else. Delay until there. Make him explode. That didn't quite do as much as I was hoping. Sing us a song, Lindsay. Move a little bit back.
Any last wishes?
But yeah, it's one of them things where it's like Diablo's not a bad game, but I don't mind Diablo. I've played all of them so far, at least to a point ever. I can't remember whether I finished Diablo 3 or not. I remember starting it with friends on more than one occasion. But it's one of them where it's like, it can become a bit of a grind. Especially, you know, some of the later ones where it's just like the main thing that people wanted was bigger and better. And yeah, to arcade, like it was like, I seem to recall the third one, you could only ever have like 5 abilities going at the same time. And you basically had a choice to, you know, each class didn't get so many options. And even if you did make some of the, you know, once you made a choice, that was it. It was like, yep, okay, you've made one of your 5 choices.
They go down!
And that was it. Whereas the original Diablo, you know, it didn't matter which class you were. You could pick up a spell of lightning bolt, for example, and use it. It's just if you were playing the fighter, you weren't very good at it. And without much in the way of mana, then you might not get, you know, much out of your lightning bolts. Whereas if you played the wizard, you won't get much out of your melee weapons, and you know, you'd only get maximum benefit out of your ranged weapons if you were playing the ranger one build. I'm assuming the monk fit in there by sort of like your main benefit is not having any weapon at all, which is a curious choice of how to play it, but it's a choice nonetheless. I think to a certain degree one of the main selling points of Diablo 3 is its whole seasons thing, and appealing to people who like the whole repetitive grind. It gives them a reason to keep coming back season after season. I hear that 4 is in development, although with my lackluster interest in well, that's a problem.
All according to plan.
Take that, take that. Nothing much else. Stings. An air of around the column vibrates with negative energy. A soft click comes from within the mechanism. A soft click comes from within the mechanism. Soft click. And soft click. That's a zombie. How much longer of this crawling do I have? Is that it? Fought past all of that just for this. Was a bit of a lackluster. Oh. Ah, there it is. Just frightened for a moment, then I was stuck in this accursed tomb. But yeah, I never really got into the whole Diablo thing, especially when it came to Diablo 2, where you were just expected a little bit to keep playing it to look for higher levels and set pieces of different varieties of things. It's
Hey,
like,
book kid. Want to hear a story about hunting a saber-toothed owlbear? That was a good hunt.
A saber-toothed owlbear? But Amiri, owlbears don't have teeth. They have beaks.
yeah, I mean, I don't mind Diablo 2. Yeah, that's the first one that I played and completed that I recall. And one of its benefits was all, you know, there was a bit of a plot. The areas were varied and different and a little bit interesting to go to. And if you were lucky, every now and again as you're playing the game, you'd find one of the set pieces. And that was great. Especially if you had friends who were also playing it at the same time and you could get the network going and you could actually trade these things. So, you know, if you found a set piece which wasn't quite your class build, you could pass it over to a friend who might get better benefit of it. The treasurer made an angry speech, threatening to take twice as much from the peasants if all the taxes were not duly paid. The money came on time, along with numerous letters of apology. Loyalty is down, but the economy jumped. The hero's reward. We failed. The plot of land designated as reward had already been claimed by another. To avoid conflict, the commander did the honourable thing and rejected the offer. Nature's Wrath. Jubileost. Do it. I think most of these... I don't know. That could have been done by Jubileost. Well, not really. Wanted to get the other stuff out. Yep. Everybody's busy on that one. Support the council's endeavours. Could do with ranking up that stuff. Maybe getting around to that, but yeah. But yeah, Diablo 2, the areas were interesting, and I played it through once, And then I started playing it again, and it's like I've already been to all of these places, and it's just more difficult, and I'm expected to do this all. And then they also introduced the socket items and the runes with the partial words, and it was like if you got the right combination, the runes were better. Oh, hello. Little cell and source. There be traps.
A trivial matter.
Not much else in this room. Who traps an empty room?
Oh, look!
It is finished.
Sounds like terrible things are going on somewhere. Summoned Axamite.
Let us strike as one.
Ah, an insane wizard. Energy resistance, fire, acid and electricity, damage reduction, adamantine. Huh? Send in the barbarian. Okay, I've reduced that. Sing us a song, Lindsay.
This should do it. An expected outcome.
Right, I want you to throw in a fireball. A controlled fireball, if you please. Forgot they don't quite exist yet. Gotta love concealment. If in doubt, magic missile. God dang it. Immune to magic missile.
Follow my lead.
Headband of vast intellect. Some scrolls and a dagger that I won't bother taking. Right, I do believe that is every known point on the map. Apart from the areas in Patax, which I can't go to at the moment. Yep. So back to the capital. Try to avoid. Evade them. What am I doing on level anyway? Though we're less than 10,000 away from level up. Not bad. I'll be level 13. 14 even. Everybody rest.
My cape is all worn out. Gotta catch a bear. A big one's hide would fit me just right.
I think it was earlier this session, it's like they never say the same thing twice, but they do feel, it feels like they're running out of things to say. Try to avoid. Evade. Continue. I won't mind you so much if it actually roughly told you what you were evading. You know, if you manage to evade it, it's like, yes, you can either engage with or evade this target. I want to go to the main square just to have a look at how the city near looks. Does it look any different? I doubt it. But it might do.
Tire.
Oh, it does. It still looks wrecked, though. You know, to say this is brand new cobblestone that's just all been laid down. Market Square has been expanded a little. Show me your wares. Yeah, I think you're mainly just carrying junk. Offer up stuff. Giant strength +6. I don't think that one's useful. That's definitely not useful. That's useless and that's useless. Although curious about that one. Immunity to shaken and sickened. Deal. Close that up. Bring up. Because the constitution bonus is kind of useful. Could get a little bit more might out of it. But then that puts the constitution... It's not that much of a difference. Although it is affecting the fortitude saves. Was I expecting a bigger difference on the hit points? And you're wearing a headband of mental perfection +6, so a +6 vast intellect isn't going to do you a damn thing, it's going to make you worse. Right, they can go. I don't think I need that either. Deal. Right. Ooh. Do I have a bigger / better throne room? Let's open the door and have a look inside. Now that we are a city.
In due time.
Still the same old throne room. Alright, so let's have a quick rest up because I'm fatigued. +1 flail just randomly lying around in my bedroom. How curious. Right, seeing as though everybody's currently busy for a while, support the councillor with endeavours. Let's rank up the loyalty. So that should take Tristan up to a +15. Runaways failed, yes. Last Wall Cavalry. Relations and espionage went down. Espionage isn't very good at the moment anyway. Relations is down. The events. Counselor is awaiting in the throne room. Strategist. Go there, and the intruder. I really need to get the espionage going. Is Jubilios your treasurer? If so, what's he wearing to buff his intelligence? I don't think he's wearing anything. Or if he is, it might be something. Karen, the situation has become rather fraught. A group of mercenaries arrived in our lands to seek a better future. They have banded together for safety. Some have been hired by our merchants as bodyguards. Alas, their manners are low and the locals are prejudiced against them. They fight more and more often. The peasants want us to banish the mercenaries from the city. The merchants expect us to protect them, regardless of the peasants' complaints. If you ask me, we mustn't surrender to hatred. This matter should be resolved peacefully. Draw from the treasury to finance more guards. They'll put an end to the clashes. Nothing's going to change if we simply choose sides. We must mediate, though it takes money and will keep for peace. And a will for peace. Finance more guards from the treasury and make sure the merchant guards don't fight with the common people. Economy and stability is up. Economy goes down, stability goes up. Economy goes up, stability goes down. That costs 100 BP. I will go for that one and agree with Tristan. Whatever money we spend on new guards will be worth it if it prevents any more blood from being spilt. Jubilios. I'm not even leveling up these people. Suppose I should in a way. Improve critical bomb. Why not? Oh, spells, restoration, and false life greater. Why not? The alchemist is master of preserving flesh and applied this knowledge to his own body, turning himself into an undead-like creature. The alchemist type doesn't change, but he becomes immune to cold, paralysis, and sleep. When hit with a critical or sneak attack is scored against the alchemist, there's a 25% chance. Interesting. So I'm paying attention to these things, and I have absolutely no interest in taking Jubilios out anyway. Cure Serious. Alchemist. Deadly aim, sure, why not? Bishop 3. Just kind of want to get this out of the way so that I finish that quest off. It's only going to take 7 days. Unrest dropped to worried. After this failure, the paupers were sent away to the barren wastelands to tame them and start new lives as pioneers. However, they didn't appreciate the opportunity and soon escaped to continue begging and harassing honorable citizens. Research into the nature of curses. Tristan. Although there is no evidence that Nerissa actually cursed Tristan, it seems that the nymph had some special power over creatures that have lost something vital to them. This could be a clue to the nature of Thraeus' own curse. This research has increased our understanding of arcane and divine magic. We have acquired a deeper understanding of the nature of curses. Trade agreement with Suratova. We're now on... Why are we down so much BP? The treasury has been robbed. Thieves broke into the treasury at night and carried away many valuables. The brazen crime cannot go unpunished. It's not just the treasury's reputation on the line, but the reputation of the whole kingdom. And Jubileos is still busy. And you're still useless. 6 days. When's this? The 1st of Neth. Yeah, I can do that. Praise Zethus. Several accidental deaths have plagued the region. Wizards say that a mystic system can be traced in these incidents. One is not readily apparent at first glance. It's a ritual of followers of Zethus, the god of accidental death. His fanatics must be stopped. God dang it. Yeah, we're gonna get somebody else to do that. Should have ranked up the high priests. 14 days. That's still too close. Let's buy another 100 BP and do that one. Someone's been hunting the members of Dringveg's Dwarven mining crew. The treasurer offered a bounty for any information about the kidnappers. The local pulled together and tracked down the druids, who have been harassing the miners. Time to go to their camp and stop them. It's a magical place. Somebody wants to discuss something. An artist's freedoms. Brazen thieves. I really want that to succeed. Recommend infusions of fast bombs. Yeah, I didn't really pay too much attention to the options of Jubileos because it's like I'm not really taking him out and about very often. There's been an incident, Chiron. A border patrol got buried under an avalanche in the eastern mountains. They're trapped and they won't survive. Some of our other soldiers want to go rescue their friends, but the mountains are still angry. The earth is rumbling and the stones are moving. I can hear it even from here. We Khalids appreciate a helping hand, but when the mountains are angry, you should flee. When someone finds bad luck in the mountains, they cannot be saved. They belong to the spirits. Mess with the mountains and you'll die, unless you want to bury your whole army under new avalanches. Just forbid the rescue mission. Loyalty is up, military is down, loyalty is down. It's dangerous and foolish. I'm not risking more fighters for the sake of a few others. You're wise. Their destiny is already set. We'll raise a toast to them and remember them forever. The same for the ones that die tomorrow. Chemo bowed awkwardly. A broad smile. It's ready. I brought you something. A quiver of lightning arrows. Thank you. Continue your work. The owner of the quiver can use it to shoot 20 shock speed arrows or 20 bolts per day. Shock arrows deal an additional 1d6 electricity damage on hit. Using the quiver increases chances of... Using this quiver increases the chances of a critical hit as well as critical damage. Lindsay, I got you a present. Support the General's endeavors. She's busy doing something. Wasn't there something about going out and helping the miners? It's not a kingdom event, so it must actually be a personal event. Where is it to be? B is for prosperity, unlock nature's wrath. Upgrade 3 secondary regions. It looks like some of our neighbors are just envious of those with better lives. We must avoid feuds amongst our own subjects. Those left behind have to be taken care of. Alright. We know where the criminals who ruined a lot of miners are hiding. In the Druid's Refuge. Let's go. Where's the Druid's Refuge? That's the question. Ah, the Druid's Refuge. I can teleport to Trazelford. Teleport. Trazelford. Enter this location. I had remembered that I can teleport. Wild boar, bear, druid. A girl in a dusted robe is staring at you with clenched fists. You're the one who thinks that they're the ruler of these lands. Why are you here? Did you want to head a greedy mob and clear yourselves a road to bounty? Stop yelling and explain what greedy mob you're talking about. The girl tries to catch her breath, but gasps with rage at your words. I'm talking about the mob you let onto these lands. The little bearded men who think they can grab whatever they want. The dwarves came to you. Didn't you think to wonder why they walked such a long way? I'll tell you why. They're locusts. They come to rob innocent land and rip it apart like a dead body. They rip up the mountains, mutilate the fields, cut down the forests, and all for profit, for the unborn children that the earth was carrying under its covers. She sobs. It's not enough what the earth freely gives. The ores and gold lie in the ground. Why would your subjects want to completely consume our natural resources? They wound the earth so deeply, it will take centuries to heal. Who are you? We're the ones who protect the land against vandals like you and your dwarves. We are followers of Gozra. We hear the whispers of the sky and the rivers. We protect our land against all intruders. What have the mining crew done to you? They have come from other lands they've devastated only to mutilate this country too. They use their contacts with authority to gut the bowels of the earth and destroy anything that stands in their way. And they get away with it. But dwarven miners can hardly be causing as much damage as you say. When the earth is torn apart, it suffers greatly. Once it loses its strength, water and wind finish the job. Did you know that the dwarves uncovered an acidic stream that poisoned several nearby creeks? Did you know that their ore rinsing elixirs burn the grass and turn good, rich soil into lyre? I'm sure you didn't. All that you people can see is the gold they pay for their mountain treasures. Just think about it for a minute. What is to become of your lands when your children's children inherit it? What will they be getting? A green country full of life, or a dead wasteland that's empty like an eggshell? What have you done to the lost miners? They came to deliver pain, and pain they shall receive. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. What shall the people of the stolen lands do? We can't live without metal. Aren't the hillside deposits enough? Why gut the earth, while other sources of ore, which it uncovered freely, have yet to be depleted? There's already enough for you and and all of your kingdom. For your and all your kingdom. I think that should be you. The things you are saying, it's awful. I shall immediately prohibit the devastation of my lands. The girl looks at you in astonishment. Really? Her clumsy smile makes her look even younger. I didn't know we could. Just ask. Thank you, Your Highness. Believe me, you're doing the right thing by listening to us. Those vandals, they don't belong here. And apparently that fails the quest. Because I didn't deal with the druids. Is there anything I can loot? A little bit annoying that where it's like, you failed the quest because you agreed with the druids and you shouldn't wreck the place. No, don't enter the place. We just left that place. Try to avoid the encounter and evaded. Teleport. Back to Loachingdale. Enter. Go directly to my throne room. Do not pass go. Do not collect 200. Time me on. 2 hours 15. Can't deal with that until I've got... Right. $200 BP. Actually, no, let's do this one for 265. Brazen Thieves. Aha! The treasurer offered a generous reward for anyone who turned in the thieves. Informers found some tempting, and the thieves were caught quickly. Triumph. The local officers learned strategic locations. Moreover, they had something to teach the strategic in return. Impressed, he said he would spread the word of the local army's wise leadership. Events. The regent demands your presence. Everybody demands my presence. Hello, Valerie. Caron, a nobleman from Brevin has arrived. He requests your approval to open a small business. He desires to open a few leatherworking shops in your domain to tan skins. The alchemical enterprise would make an unpleasant neighbour. Of course, the locals won't be happy about the waste and the smell, but we must concentrate our business interests and relations with our neighbouring countries. The people of Brevity will happily pay to move these tanneries away from their homes, but you have the right to make whatever decision you consider best for your country. We need the money, and that means business. I'm willing to make a deal. I'll give the orders to begin construction. I'll also reinforce patrols in case of any unrest. It's time your subjects learned how to work for an honest living, even if it means a nasty smell. New event, strong nation, support the region's endeavours. Tannery +1. Ah, the dwarf comes. Greetings, your highness. By tradition, if a worthy ruler is patron to a master, the master gives generously in return. I have come to honour this tradition. Please accept this. I worked hard on it. I hope it serves you well. A bashing shield. Thank you for the gift. It is a pleasure to work hard for such an honourable lord. Well, yeah. This +1 shield was specifically designed to perform a shield bash. It deals damage as if a weapon 3 sizes category larger. Medium light shields deal 1d8 points of damage. The shield acts as a +1 weapon when used to bash. Interesting. Totally useless in my hands, but interesting. Right. I don't really want the tannery in the capital if it's going to smell bad. So let's build the tannery out in the arse end of nowhere. Oh, that's interesting. It's basically -1 community, -1 loyalty, but 1 BP per week. Can only be built in a separate slot. Ah, so I can't build it here. Because nobody wants to be next to it. Doubt that there's many slots around. Oh, I could actually put it outside the town. See, that's one of the things about, you know, Josh, when you mentioned it's like, oh, you can move around these things before upgrading them and it's cheaper and the rest of it. It's like, where do I move them to? Because I wasn't expecting it to expand out there. Wasn't exactly sure where it was going to expand out, but wasn't expecting that way. +3 culture for each of the storyteller's completed collections. Interesting. Noble Villa. See, it's things like that might allow me to. +3 community, +5 economy, +3 stability. A skill building when coins are minted, +3 community when adjacent to a palace, +3 stability when adjacent to a castle, +3 divine when adjacent to a cathedral. But I can't build it anywhere but there, which it's out on its Billy Lonesome. So many options. Goblin Quarter. Restricted to kingdoms with a neutral, chaotic neutral, neutral evil, or chaotic evil alignment, yet it's there in my list. So I'm tempted to buy some of these to try and get the espionage points up. Waterfront. Town Hall. Garrison. Inn. Inn doesn't give me any more espionage. Trade shop to a luxury store. Bulletin board doesn't change. Can build a kobold quarter for even more espionage. So I can get 6 from the goblin quarter, the kobold quarter, A mansion would give me another 2. Oh, another 1, sorry. Mage's Tower would increase my arcane. Noble's Villa would increase it by 3. Already got a lighthouse over there. Can only be built on a lighthouse slot. Okay. Right. So we have the Noble Villa, which we shall put there. Kobold Quarter, which we shall put there. And the Goblin Quarter, which we shall put up across the room. This is going to piss off a lot of people about loyalty. So we want to increase loyalty a little. Monument. Was it relations you needed for espionage advisor? Yeah, it's relations, I think. A Grand Diplomat covers matters of espionage and will ask you to assign a minister when the relations reaches rank 4. So I do need to improve relations as well. But that and that also improve relations. As well as starts building up the espionage. System when placed next to a park. I'm just trying to offset some of the loyalty. +1 bonus to region to a council when resolving situations in the region. Sure, I'll have a hospital. Does it matter if it's built next to anything? No? Okay. I think I need more BP. But let's see, a monument is 40, so that's some... Oh, a park is good. Wasn't there something about a park? Oh, with the system? +1 system when +1 loyalty when adjacent to a park. And the park also gives me loyalty. +1 community when adjacent to a town hall, +1 divine when adjacent to a temple, +1 when adjacent to a museum. But the museum is 2, so I can't really buy both where I intend on doing this. Give me another 500. I give up trying to work out tiny discrete amounts. It was a cistern and a park, wasn't it? Where's the park? I love the way that nobody can build it that way around. Nope. So I'll right click to try and rotate it. I'll put it over there with a cistern. Or I can put it there, and there's the system, and that'll get me +1 community because it's next to a town hall. We can put the cistern in here. Okay, that'll do for now. Rank up the Regent's endeavours. What's under economy? Strong nation. The building costs with a static community bonus, Bard's College, City Hall, Courthouse, Dwarven Bastion, Granary Longhouse, Luxury Store, Mansion Monument, Noble's Villa, Pathfinder Lodge, Temple of Abadar, Town Hall, Trade Shop, Waterfront is reduced by 10. Well, you could have advised me of that earlier. Tempted just to get that one out of the way. It's not really doing much for me, I don't think. 14 days, yeah, do that. And then I'll rank up. The Regent's endeavours. Intruder was failed. I expected that. Success. 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 Oh, Vordakai. Many forces were at play during the Battle of Oculus Urabadan, but we learned that in order to curse someone, one has to know their true essence, the thing that defines their being. Without this, the curse will have much less power over the victim. The research has increased our understanding of arcane magic. We have acquired a deeper understanding of the nature of curses. Improving economic status. Is there anything left on Curtis's? Red-faced sisters. Why do I keep running out of BP? Have we been robbed again? We have been robbed again. Safe refuge. We have riots going on. Your kingdom is rioting. People don't believe you're right to rule any longer. You receive -3 on all kingdom checks. Your advisors have prepared the following projects. Feast for the afflicted, address the kingdom. No, they haven't. I'm getting an... Most of my rank downs have been because of the negative effects of the things keep getting stolen. You know, every time that I get robbed, the BP drops below negative, then it just goes, nah, you've got riots on your hands. They don't seem to care that I recover the money. You deal with that. You deal with that. See if this triggers anything. I forget to check if there are opportunities or not. It's just, I've had opportunities critically fail and take a kingdom stats down. Greetings, Your Highness. Here I brought you something. Integrity. Thank you. Bye. Nope, nobody's telling me my people are rioting. Deal with that. Let's increase my loyalty, because that counts for bugger all. Yeah, loyalty is my highest stat. Yet apparently my people aren't loyal and are rioting instead. Brazen thieves. They were caught. We got our money back. Great stuff. Veterans. Military is up. Failure. Chest of steel, power of blood. Will always have our ears. Okay, somebody's waiting for me. Tristan? Carrier, a situation has developed. We must decide if we shall follow the letter of law or do what my heart tells me is right. Traveling merchant vessels roam the rivers of the stolen lands. They sell low-priced goods and bypass the official fees. They sell nothing special, of course. Cheap clothes, utensils, simple tools. These are lifesavers for our peasants, who can afford little else. However, the merchants are unhappy about the current situation. They wish to fund a boat squad to hunt down and sink the traveller boats. The merchants are allegedly enforcing the laws and fighting against the sales of stolen property. But in fact, they're only greedy to control the small percentage of goods that the travellers live on. It's up to you to decide on what we should do. I'm sure you can see why this troubles me. We must interfere and prevent this injustice. Let the merchants know that their efforts are not required. If they touch any vessels that isn't theirs, we will have to resort to force. Thank you, Chiron. The law doesn't always grant protection for those in need. Test of steel is up. Opportunity, up. No, that's a problem. Jubiliost, deal with the problem. Daggermark spies have infiltrated the palace and are trading in secrets. Fortunately, all the information about camps and troop formations has been, so far, kept safe. However, rumor has it the information about the palace's secret passages and court politics will soon be available to the highest bidder. The whole country will be at risk unless the leak is stopped. And I'll take a crisis point to get it up to over half. And that's an opportunity. Okay. Amory, go deal with that. Storyteller, go deal with them. 0 chance of success. Because I have riots and don't have a way of resolving them. Because it says to mitigate unrest, your advisors have prepared the following projects: feast for the afflicted and address the kingdom. and neither are here. Send you. Let's keep loyalty on the way up. Loyalty is up to 7, but economy is not great. The trial of a darling Loric. Military economy arcane are up. Triumph economy relations and espionage are up. Trade agreement with Galt is finished. Feast for the afflicted. The people of Kingdom are unhappy and wish their pleas to be heard. The treasurer could distract. With a glorious feast. Do it. Address the kingdom. Storyteller, you shall do that. You deal with that. Counselor awaits. Grand Diplomat awaits. Last Wall Cavalry we can't do because we don't have a thing for that. Which apparently is still a problem. Experiments can't be done at the moment. Ransoming gold or iron. There are numerous barbarians in the kingdom's prison, among them participants in failed raids and members of defeated gangs. A group of Khelids arrive in the region, friends and family of the prisoners, here to offer a ransom in gold, iron or other services. The power of blood cannot be done at the moment. That can't be done at the moment. And people await me in the hall. Cairo, not all diplomatic problems are solved openly. Sometimes a problem needs to be concealed, and sometimes knowledge must be ciphered and secrets overheard. When I have a choice of advisor for a problem or opportunity, and there is no great disparity between the chances of success, I would pick the one representing the kingdom's lowest stat. Yeah, that makes sense. I tend to go which one, where I feel, I'm very role-playing in terms of sort of the one where the farmers can't afford the taxes. I'd much rather send Tristan to resolve the matter because I prefer how he'd handle it than Jubileost. Because that Jubileost is just going to squeeze the peasants for everything they're worth, and that's not a very nice thing to do. But it'll raise the economy. Whereas sending Tristan seems like a better idea because it'll be nicer and raises loyalty. Or community, whichever one he's in charge of. To do this, I would need a spy chief. I'm not fit for the job. I'm used to speaking my mind, not keeping silent. Please find a worthy minister for this position. In the meanwhile, I'll try to handle today's delicate matter. There's a guard detail from 7 archers at the border. They were sent by the voice of the wind, one of the elder druids who rule the 7 archers, a diplomat and chief scout. Their guard keeps insisting an elf hiding in our land, a fugitive who slipped out of their city. They've asked us to help capture him, or at least not hinder their search. But in Seven Arches, they'll say the elf is a criminal, when they really mean he's a hindrance. Since it wasn't us who sentenced him, why should we assume that he's a villain? It would be better if find him and help him get back home to Cronin. Tell me about the conflict between Seven Arches and Cronin. Seven Arches was built on a spot that is sacred to elves. The elves fled from there once, and the druids and the oak stewards have ruled ever since. The elves of Cronin would like to return their shrine, or at least be granted access to it. But the druids are wary of Cronin and feel hostile to any elves in their territory. Make sure the elf reaches Cronin. Helping him get home is a nice thing to do. I'll make sure we find the elf and get him back home safely. I'm sure Cronin will appreciate the friendly act. They might even send a letter of gratitude, along with some ancient magical books. No, I should stop daydreaming. Tristan again. Hello. There are more and more workers in the kingdom, and the farmers require plots of fruitful soil. The ordinary people regard you as their defender against iniquity of the merchants, and they have come to you with a request. Your subjects wish to clear and plough some nearby oak groves, where wealthy men, both local and breven, have hunted in sport for many years. The merchants won't like it, but I'm sure you can see that food for children and the elderly is far more important than sports for the idle. Wouldn't you agree? The land must bear fruit and feed the people, not amuse a crowd of wealthy crooks. Allow the peasants to plough these new fields. You are merciful. The people will never forget who granted them the land for their honest labour. Give your gift and go. Greetings, your highness. Allow me to alleviate your daily concerns with a humble gift from an admirer. I'm certain that you or one of your friends will find this trinket useful. I've come a long way to get it to your hands. Thank you. I won't keep you waiting. Here you go, a little something from old Balkan. If you ever need anything particular, just let me know. If you're not sure, I'll go home and think of something myself. My bones ache. Thank you. This will be useful. You may go now. My pleasure. I only hope that no one throws it away or leaves it to rot in some old chest. Oh well. And here was me starting off the session by discussing how the fact that I'm carrying far too many potions and should possibly sell it off. I have unlocked espionage. I may have a problem there. The only person left, the minister of this, is Jubiliost. And he's not very good at it. He's great as an economy kind of person. I need to get the economy up. What is Jubilios doing? He's throwing a feast. Which will end in 5 days. It's a magical place. 625? Jesus. The Treasury arranged a fancy festival which was attended by thousands of citizens. The people forgot all about their troubles while they drank wine and had some fun. Which has got me back to troubled. Wind in the sails. Lindsay. Go deal with that. Nope, you're busy. Advisors. Megavan, you can deal with that. And Jubilios, you can deal with that. I've actually completed a quest. Alright. Julius, go deal with that problem. It's a problem for Tristan. He'll be free in 7 days. The power of blood. I need to burn a crisis point. No, no. It's only an opportunity. You have a chance to do that one. Everybody should now be busy there. The rest are busy. Trading grounds. Nope, can't do that one. Can't do that one. Ah, can do this one. 150 BP. Go! Disaster, not too bad. Success. Resolving situations. Okay, events. Knock Knock is confused. Technical issue. Everybody's busy. And that's a problem. Runaways. Everybody's busy. And that's only an opportunity. Let's see what Knock Knock's got to say. Knock Knock seems confused. You notice what seems to be a leather rag in his hands. It smells faintly of sulfur. I take it this is yours. Knock Knock remains frozen as he stares at the cap in his hands. He seems surprised and uneasy. Was once mine. War in the village. King once ripped it off my head, beat me across the skull and face with it, then used it as a white rag and hit me again. Though thought it was lost long ago. What's it doing here? Knock Knock looks uneasy. It's a challenge. A ruler of tribe. The king has come back for me, but the cap looks strange, smells strange. Why now? He glances around. Where'd it come from? Goblin come out here, drop it off? What do you mean, challenge? When goblins in Steel Lands fight for tribes, they fight over the big best hat. Hat-like crown. But not ugly and shiny like yours. This is a challenge. Another tribe. Maybe you hear of our allying. Think he can get back crown by fighting me? Knock looks confused. Well, more so than usual. And one of his ears begins to twitch. But how he get power back? He shrugs finally. If in Kingdom now, probably cause a lot of trouble. Then we need to stop him. Knock nods, then leans down, and then with a shaking finger turns over the cap. And on the inside you see a map, scrawled in red. He show his way. He meet where Little Master's shrines were. We need to come together, you and me. Rules of challenge. You glance at the map and you both are surprised as the leather cap suddenly lights, burning brightly, then crumbles to ash on the floor. Did your tribe ever deal with demons? Knock is silent, staring at the ash. He says nothing. You've never seen him this worried. You decide to give him space, but keep the challenge in the back of your mind. Your Highness, please accept this humble gift as a token of my deepest affection, respect, or whatever else the rules tell me I'm supposed to say. I very much hope you like it. I worked hard on it. Right, can't see what your wait to see your next creation. Believe me, I won't disappoint you. Knock and the King's Return. Prowling Cheetah Quarterstaff, Monk Weapon, Speed 1. And the Colossus Ring. This ring grants a wearer +2 luck bonus to Constitution, and the ability to cast Enlarge Person twice per day as a first level wizard spell. Constitution, you say? And it's a luck bonus, not an enhancement bonus. Right. But yes, I didn't realize to a certain extent that the stats, the base stats for the people were based on their ability scores. Because if they were, I might not have sold off so many of the things that I've been selling off that boost ability scores. One of them fun things that you don't quite realise until it's spelled out for you, and then it's like, ah, yes, that would have been useful to know. Because now I need to go back over here and see who I sold the agility stuff to. Here's some random stuff for you as well. Yeah, I was kind of hoping for a +6 belt of dexterity. $65,000 just to buy it back. And that's only going to be for a +2 bonus. I think I'll risk it for the moment. Spend a lot of money on buffing up my kingdom. And they're not exactly rare. Unless you've got something. There we go. Incredible dexterity. 70,000. Deal. And then go over to Jubiliost and put it on. Right. Are we expected to go alone? The king must travel to the goblin clearing with Knock Knock alone and meet with this mysteriously resurrected goblin king. This sounds like a terrible idea. That's a problem. Oh well. Saying that I can't travel, I'm carrying too much. Gonna keep the healing potions though, because, you know, healing potions. But sell off every other kind of potion I've got. Maybe, just maybe, I'll be able to get the weight down to a reasonable level. Actually managed to get it down to just at about £100. Deal. Made 23,000 in gold. You, and you. It's 2,300 hours, so it's about time for me to get off, but I just want to double check that Jubilios has updated correctly. When it allows me out into the general wide area. So advisors, Jubiliost. It has increased it. Which is probably why you do so well at the military. And your charisma sucks. Tristan's wisdom. Megavan is intelligence. But he's not a party member, so you can't increase it. Jod is wisdom, but can't increase it. Lindsay is relations, and she's already got a great charisma. Octavia is arcane and intelligence, and she's already got intelligence out of the wazoo. The warden cannot be increased. And the curator can also not be increased. So to a certain degree, replacing those with people that I can actually do things about. I can only get him to match Kristen. Oh, that's a problem for another time. I'll need to go to the goblin clearing. But that will have to wait until next session. Saving. So yes, this has been session 59 of Pathfinder Kingmaker. It got a little bit hairy in the middle there where the loyalty of my people was dipping. I was actually panicking. It's like, is this the point where my kingdom just falls apart and I lose the game? And then have to either decide to abandon this game or start it all over again. Potentially turning off the kingdom side of things. I don't mind the management of it too much, but at the same token, when it's that... I don't know, it feels like it's an entirely extra element of the game that you're not really given much of a clue about. That you need to try and work out how everything works. And it's like nothing I've ever come across before. And ultimately, you could lose the game if you get it wrong. Badly wrong. So yes, you can build mercenaries for the rolls, but they take a -4. I mean, that kind of makes sense because you can end up building mercenaries just with sort of like, I want this stat in mind, and so you can start off and pick exactly the right race, class. Everything, just to make sure that they're 100% focused on that, and then give them +6 items. The advantage could be drastic. If you just look at Amory and her position, it's very much sort of like she's ideal for that because it's constitution based or strength based, one of the two. But anyway, I am going to get off because I could probably do with some sleep at some point. Let's see what's going on. Is Halfsinger Games around this evening? I don't know. She is not. We are going to go raid a friend of mine who is not at their desk at the moment. But they're playing some Monster Hunter World. So if you'd all... final wrap up. I'm Cameron Rossmar. I stream Pathfinder Kingmaker on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tomorrow I'll be playing Hitman 3, as I do most Fridays. I didn't quite finish the Elusive Target last week, so I'll be attempting it again this week. On Mondays, I stream Cyberpunk 2077, but that's likely to change at some point. But if you want to continue watching that stream, check that out on the Mondays. I also stream with another Twitch streamer called madcat_UK on Saturdays over on his channel in some form of co-op game. Don't think we've decided what it is this week yet, but if you come tomorrow, then chances are it'll be figured out there. As for timings, if you want to check the schedule below, they're all a little bit different at times, and I keep that up to date, and it's also converted into your local time zone, so no need to have to try and figure that out. I think that just about covers it all. So yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time. Please do join me for the raid, but I'll get that going once I've closed out the stream. Alright, cheers. Daddy bye.